This is Matt with Tips for Truckers, and today I'm going to give you 5 things, or ask you 5 things that I don't understand why four-wheelers do. Cars, that is. But let's get right into it. Number 1, these aren't in necessarily any order or anything, but I think this is a pretty egregious one. It's brake checking. There's absolutely no reason for you to ever brake check somebody. If you ever get that feeling, just surrender your driver's license. People are gonna act like douchebags on the road, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you just have to work around it. But from what I've found, 9 times out of 10, if you feel like you want to brake check somebody, you're in the wrong. Because just speed up. Just get out of people's way. Just like I said in the other video, why would you ever want to be in somebody's way? That's the most dangerous thing about driving, is when you're in somebody's way. And that perfectly transitions to number 2. And that's not letting people over when they have their turn signal, or purposely standing next to them. I don't see cars doing this to other cars, probably because they're a lot shorter. But I swear that a lot of cars will just try and stay next to you when you got your turn signal on. It seems like out of spite. But see, here's where the worst part about that is. A lot of times we're getting over because there's a person changing a tire on the side of the road. Or sometimes there's a person just standing in our lane for no reason. And we're trying to get over, and you think it's funny, just stand right next to us. I don't get it. I don't get it. You see our turn signal on. Give us the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes, we'll, like I said in the other video, we're getting over, and it'll take us a long time to pass. But just give us the benefit of the doubt that we're trying to save somebody's life when we're trying to get over. Okay, all right. Now let's move on to number 3. It's not necessarily related to the last one, but this is another thing. When you pass us, keep going the speed or faster than when you're passing us. Okay, let's say I'm doing 65 mile an hour, and every day I get somebody passing me. And they'll pass me at 70, and they'll get in front of me, and then they'll do 60 or 62. And I know you guys have dealt with this, so I just don't understand that. It just doesn't make any sense, because then we have to pass you, and you should really minimize the amount of passing in driving. That's another very dangerous thing, is if you can minimize the amount of lane changes and passing that you do, that greatly increases the safety of the road. And, let me do this a little bit out of order, because the next one, number 4, it kind of goes with the last one too, and that's going slow on a 2-lane road. Okay, and now you think, Matt, what's the big deal about going slow on a 2-lane? Well, let me tell you, when you got a car behind you, it's fine, because the car can accelerate and pass and see around you and everything, no problem. But when you have a truck behind you, and let's say it's 65 mile an hour zone or 60 mile an hour zone, and truck set at 65 and you're doing 55, and 9 times out of 10, if someone's going slow on a 2-lane, this is another thing I don't understand. I think it's the most dangerous thing you could do, is they'll go 55 in a 60 on 2-lane. You try and pass them at 65, and then they'll match your speed. And that goes along with, what I was saying earlier in the video. And basically, the underlying theme with driving is just don't get in anybody's way, like I said earlier. And just it a lot of times when we're a truck, It takes us a long time to pass you on a 2 lane. I mean, there's no reason not to be going the speed limit on a 2 lane. Go as slow as you want on the highway. I think the minimum is usually 45. I don't care if you do that, but just do it with your four ways on. Do it on the shoulder. Do it in the slow lane. But when there's 2 lane road, you just do the speed limit. You know. But going on to number 5, and I won't say this is the most dangerous, but this is one of the ones that I really, really don't get, and that's being a good Samaritan, or I couldn't think of a better way to put it. But basically, it's when you change the traffic laws to be nice to somebody. You give somebody the right of way that doesn't have the right of way. And I see a lot of people doing this for trucks. And I appreciate you wanting to help us out and everything. But the best way to help us out is just to obey all the traffic laws. Some of them are stupid. But at least if we adhere to the laws, then there's some order. Just go the speed limit. Give the right of way to whoever has the right of way. So what I notice is a lot of times I'll be making a left and there'll be a car coming towards me. And they don't have a stop sign or anything. I'm making a left, into a truck stop or something, let's say. And I got my turn signal on. They're coming this way. Sometimes they'll have their turn signal on, so I know that they're turning in anyway, and I have enough time. But I always give them the benefit of a doubt just in case they're going to the next driveway or something, making a right, or just have the turn signal on for no reason. So I always let them make that right turn, because a right turn always has the right of way over a left turn, unless you have the green arrow, obviously, and red light and all that mess. It just use common sense and adhere to all the driving laws. The speed limit is, you don't have to adhere to that, but I just don't understand that. And that was just one example. I see people all the time of, if there's a pedestrian and you got a real busy road, people will just stop in the middle of that busy road to let that pedestrian over. And, when I'm a pedestrian, I don't trust the other cars. So it's like, I would rather wait for the traffic to be completely clear than for everybody to stop. Because you don't know if the people in the next lane are going to stop. And so that last one's probably something you didn't think about, but it is pretty dangerous, and it's just one thing I don't understand. Anyway, these are my 5 things that I wish you four-wheelers would stop doing. I appreciate you guys trying to work with us and, giving us space and all that. But please do these 5 things, or don't do these 5 things that I just mentioned. And the roads will be a lot safer. Thanks. It's Matt with Tips for Truckers. Have a great day.